we good? Well, this is very exciting. We're sitting down with... Wait, I was just doing podcast voice. Now I'm going to start again. Well, this is very exciting. We are sitting down with Hilary Curwen. Wow. Hi.
Hi.
You're sitting right here. You know, this is very exciting for me because I have always wanted to have a psychotherapist on the podcast.
How come?
Because I really do believe that at the end of the day, the degree an actor can grow requires a level of an emotional intelligence or an emotional EQ that, and without it, it's hard. It makes it more challenging. To be a student of self, to be a student of characters, to be a student of the human condition. It's not to say you can't be good, but you just might be incredibly just instinct based, and it's a lot harder to craft. A sophisticated story, and also far as just like people who you want to sit and hang with.
Sure, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in you comes wrapped someone who is actually an actor at the studio. You do so many things. So I am just so curious about so many things.
Great.
Okay. What was the moment where you're like, okay, I'm interested in this?
I remember it. I was outside a Pilates studio and I was on the phone. I think it was with my friend Siggy. And
Siggy.
Yeah. And we were talking about, I think it was like, other jobs. And I was like, yeah, therapy is interesting. I had a therapist and I loved. And I still have her.
What was her name?
Her name's Tolly. She's still my therapist, and
I think you told me about her
the
years ago.
The reason I decided to become a therapist. And I remember like, yeah, I could do that. That's like a job I'd like. And then I didn't think much of it. And then the pandemic happened, and there was this maybe fear of what do I do next? Or what does this look like for me? Even in terms of where my Pilates was going, it was kind of just I don't know. I guess I could go to, this is the time I could go to grad school. And that was like, in that moment, I woke up the next day. I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just apply to grad school. But that's also the way my brain works. It's like I decide something and then I do it the next day. And if it didn't happen, if the pandemic didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have gone to grad school. Or at the time, because I was thinking that I wouldn't miss auditions. It was this hold on, well, I can't go to grad school because what if I miss an audition? And then that went away. The feeling of I can do it. I'm taping everything. I can make everything still happen. Okay, let's go.
Well, you were having that perspective, which a lot of actors do.
I know.
Like, I've got to do every single thing right in order to ever get a job.
Yeah.
I have to make myself completely available. I have to be available for every opportunity. I've got to do amazing with every opportunity. I'm not allowed to do a lot of things. But this is great.
Yeah.
And you know why else? Because I remember having you and coaching you, and you were sometimes insane.
Yeah.
You were often like, there was a lot of angst and a lot of like
control.
A lot of control and worrying about the moment and not breathing.
Not breathing. Always not breathing.
There was no breathing.
Never breathing.
Never breathing.
I know.
So we were trying to get to like what the scene was about, but it was actually, we can't even get to what the scene's about until we actually deal with like this habit or this instrument.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the fern. Okay.
That works.
But that's why also I really wanted you on. It's really fascinating for you to be a student of you. Yeah. So let's talk about the way you were operating as an actor back then.
Oh, yeah.
You were a baby.
Baby, mid-20s. I went to college for it. And then what you said before is something about instinct. Some people just used instinct. And was me. Even though I went to school for it and trained, there was an element of, I'm just going to do the thing I do. This is how I am, and I'm just going to do this. This thing that works-ish. It worked for a long time. And it was fast, and it came out as funny for a while. It just kind of worked. And I think I just took that and stayed there for a long time. That was, I know this formula, and if I just go, and do this, it works. And that stopped working. And being in class is when I kind of realized, or we mean coach is like, oh, I'm not breathing. This isn't working anymore. And yeah. So being a therapist is interesting because.
Well, I do remember back then. Tell me if I am misremembering.
Yeah.
But you had the one thing you could never accuse Hilary of is not caring.
Yeah.
You cared a lot.
Yeah.
But sometimes that would lead to the obsessing or the smothering of it.
Sure.
Which is so normal. You see that all the time. I dealt with this kid the other day where he's not a kid. He's late 20s. But we're coaching this thing for this new Ryan Murphy show.
Mm-hmm.
And the circumstances are insane. It's like being a prisoner in Auschwitz. I mean, it's truly mind-bogglingly severe. And the character's literally going to spontaneously combust in a couple of hours. Like, we're talking those high stakes. Yeah. And his first take was good on tape because it was just messy.
Yeah.
And crazy. And there's so many given circumstance, and it was just felt chaotic, but present. And then there was a dwindling return on me giving him notes.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't at the point where he could refine it. He was at the point where it just became more result oriented. He was trying to hit something. And now it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think I can do it better. And I was like, I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Because I think the first take's great. And I think right now what's happening is every note's making you think about the note, and it's not like releasing you into the scene.
And getting it right.
Yeah, that's it. It was getting it right.
Oh, yeah.
And even after, and I said something really interesting to him afterwards. Well, I'm not saying I'm patting myself on the back, but I did say to him, do you want the scene to feel good? He's like, yeah. I go, but if you're doing this scene, it won't feel good. This scene can't feel good. You're dying. You're in this. This should feel like a scene you never want to do again. If you're having an authentic experience.
Sure.
Who'd want to go through that? Huh. But I think you're right. Sometimes that idea of like getting it right, so I'm obsessed. We add this entire other variable, which has nothing to do with.
It's being good, though, right?
Yeah.
And I think college, being in that conservatory style program, was the thing that pushed me into that feeling of like, I need to be good. I'm going to maintain the being good.
Great. So talk about your college conservatory experience.
So
were you in a BA program?
BFA.
BFA.
So I auditioned at the only colleges that I was going to go to were ones I auditioned for that had conservatory style. So really good program. And my auditions, it was I was loose and free, and every audition felt different slightly. That's what I remember. And then I went to school, and it was, I had had a minor outside of acting because I wanted to have education that wasn't just in communications at Newhouse. So strictly just communications. And
I love acting communications. You were just going for those very concentrated studies.
I was like, I'm going to stay here, And there was in school, we had movement class. We did most of our classes were acting based, and it was great, and Shakespeare, and it was wonderful. But I think because there was this element of some part came naturally to me, that I was validated often, and I got great roles in these plays, and I kind of just kept doing the same shtick, and the shtick was working. And then I was then you realize when you get out of school, it's so crazy, but when you're like, oh, I'm good. That's the feeling of like, oh, I'm good at this. And then I brought that version of me to LA, and then I was like, who cares? Or whatever that is like not serving anything. It's just you doing your shtick to be funny or to be good, to get people to like you. in some way.
See, that's fascinating because I got lots of leads in plays when I was in college. I was not good.
Wow.
I was a good auditioner. I think even though I get the lead, I think that I intuitively knew. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. I intuitively knew that. Then I applied to go to grad school, and I got in, and I couldn't believe I got in. I mean, I knew I had something. I'm not, I knew I had something. I knew I knew there was a presence I had. I knew that I really loved storytelling. I didn't know why my work was not meeting my ambition. I just know that like I didn't really know what to do after I got the part. And then I went to grad school and I found out that everything was wrong with me. And I remember them I'm like, I talk wrong, I stand wrong, I do all this stuff. And I remember saying, why did you let me in? They said, because you're very good. And I realized that there were two things that could exist simultaneously, that you could be good and have a lot to work on.
Wow.
And even leaving grad school, it took me lots of years and I left there going, I still don't feel completely in control. So I do think it's interesting. I think it says a lot, maybe you could speak to this, is the psychological type that we are.
Oh, yeah.
Because I watch a lot of people with that, but I'm good.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do we need... and I think a lot of people like really are still... They have those experiences where they get the plays at Syracuse, or they get that where they get at USC, and then they feel kicked in the fucking ass by the city because it's not rewarding them any longer.
Yeah.
And do you think it's ego?
Yes. And I think you get these hits whenever you find it. Even in class, I would get these hits of it. It wasn't people saying you're good. It was like in a scene, I would, I'd break down and start crying. And in my head, I'm like, that was good. I did a good job. And
it's the academic bullshit.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I actually know the moment now thinking about it. When I was auditioning for all these, so in high school, I wasn't getting the main lead. There's one girl, she got all the leads. She was younger than me and beautiful.
What's her name?
I can't, Isabel Richardson. And she was so talented.
We love you, Isabel.
We do. So talented and everyone loved her. And she got the lead as a freshman. And I never really did. I never got leads in high school. I was like kind of like the fun, quirky friend or something like that. And then I'm auditioning for colleges. And I auditioned for Juilliard for funsies. I'm just like, why not? Who cares? I'm going to just do it. I live in New York, might as well. And I got a call back that day. And then I got this letter that was like, out of so-and-so, how much, you were one of 100 or something who got a call back. And that was, I remember that moment, ego. I was like, oh, I'm so good. Like this weird, and that I think was the start of like, oh, being good. I did this and that was good. That I was validated. I was chosen. And yes, I'm not the lead of this place, but I'm chosen. Oh, they don't know. And God, it's just so, I look at that little version of me and I'm like, I get it. I get you wanting to be good and it makes you feel special and chosen. And that's your thing. That's your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You needed that because it was always a push to feel chosen. That is my core wound. That's my stuff. And then when I am this hit that is like it's crack and you hold on to, I held on to that Juilliard callback for so long. And it was almost like, okay, replicate that. Keep doing that, and you will keep getting chosen. Even though I didn't get into Juilliard.
Replicate that, and you'll keep...
Yeah.
Maybe you can psychoanalyze me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had startling tension, as it said in my evaluations.
Mm-hmm.
I performed. I was so busy. I returned to all the evaluations I got from my grad school teachers. I have them 3 years worth.
Uh-huh.
And I remember back then I thought I understood them. I didn't understand them. Now I'm like, oh my God, it's just basic things. Mm-hmm. But I was acting.
Yeah.
I was performing. And I realized, what saved me was going to therapy.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say the first session helped me so much because you really have to confront yourself. I realized that for me, it actually had to do a little bit with childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I thought love was conditional.
Sure.
So I needed to make sure that I was nice, or I needed to please you to keep your attention.
Sure.
And I didn't realize I had actually put that relationship with people watching me.
Mm.
And then I remember in my first therapy session, I'm sitting with this magical woman. And the best person ever was the head of my my voice teacher, Nancy. She just said, go to therapy. And I was like, why? She's like, just go. She wouldn't even dignify the question of why.
Yeah.
And it was just after 2 months of voice class.
Wow.
Where she's like, and I like that she, see me, even today I would explain why. She was like, no, just go. And I went. And in that first session, I'm paying you to listen to me. That changed everything.
Oh, wow.
Well, meaning, you're gonna pay attention to me no matter what the fuck I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It changed the relationship where I'm just like, I don't have to work hard. I don't have to act to be engaging. I don't have to try to be amusing. I don't have to fucking be charming. I'm gonna fucking just be.
But you know what's interesting about that?
What?
Is I look out for that so when I have a client, I believe that is like a microcosm of how it is in life for them, right? And so the actors or the ones who are looking for, want to be needed, I look for a little bit of the performing sometimes and a little bit of making me laugh. And I've asked, like, when they say like, oh, I should make this person laugh, I'm like, do you need to make me laugh? Is that important to you?
You sound like Joe Pesci.
Oh, yeah?
You think you want to amuse me? Just switching it. I think in any like in teaching, you have to be aware of like, oh, I don't want to reinforce this for you.
Yeah.
Don't reinforce it.
But if they do, and they don't, even if they don't realize, or it's like, no. And I go, well, why is it different? I'm like, because I'm paying you. Maybe that is true. I'm in for them that I'm paying you so I don't have to be that way. But even that in the back of their head, me asking that question, like,
oh, it gets that. Yeah, they'll have to ruminate.
It sits there and maybe something shifts. Maybe they do. And because I'd never thought about that.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Until I went to class that day.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I just had whatever feeling I had in that therapy session somehow stayed with me of just, not like a state of being, but just, I can just be in the scene. And then I'll never forget my teacher, who was the most narcissistic human being in the world, was like, John, that was wonderful. What did you try this week? And because I knew he was such a narcissist, I made it about him, and I pleased him. I was like, just following the steps, David, because I didn't want to talk about going to therapy with him.
Sure.
I was like, I'm not going to give you the gift of my experience. Right?
Yeah.
This is mine. I'm going to therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's funny is not a lot of people went back to therapy right then. So I felt like I had this like secret, a lovely secret.
Wow.
Like it's mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are like, you all should go to therapy. I'm like, this is my baby.
Yeah. It's my secret tool.
It was. I literally, I depended on two things. I would do that before my classes on. I don't remember what day it was on. I would do it. I loved going, always schedule right before acting class. And chiropractor right before this other class.
Well, that makes sense. Mind and body. You're just going, how can I be the most...
But I was like an addict.
Oh, wow.
I was like an addict of like, no, like I like it became so, and it was useful.
Wow.
And who knew that in Chapel Hill, they got the best of both. But I think that you are speaking about that need to, I love that what you said. It's really fascinating. Like that's the crack.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how did you ultimately reconcile that? Right? How did you come to terms with it? I mean, therapy.
Oh my gosh.
Because by the way, I'm sure this is a lifelong thing for you. That's not something that goes away.
Yeah.
This is like,
this
until
is
the
still,
day you die, this is going to be your thing.
Yeah.
And to the day I die, it's going to be my I really have to make sure that I'm not taking on. I have to be aware of what I'm projecting and what I'm taking on. So
Well, the awareness, and that's why I am in my own therapy. I know a lot of therapists at some point kind of put their own therapy to the wayside.
aren't you supposed to always
You know
go?
what? You're not. And well, even in grad school, you had to go for 2 quarters.
Okay.
But and now a lot of people I know are not in their own therapy. And it's like, I remember my therapist saying to me, you're going every other week, but I think you should come every week. And I was like, okay. She said, this is just as helpful. I mean, if you are a therapist, this is just as helpful as getting supervision, as getting, consultation, being in your own and working on your stuff here. And I believe that. It wasn't her trying to sell me. It was like, this is where the work is. And so the idea of like being validated or, needing to feel chosen comes up. It comes up. But the more I'm able to sit with that, and even recently, I noticed that. I noticed the feeling. And I was with friends who have a baby, a 1.5-year-old baby.
Yeah.
We were at brunch. And I was really, I left that brunch very angry. And this is how there's some shit that's going on. It's like, I felt it and I was very frustrated. And I told my husband, I was like, I'm upset about that. And, and I talked about it in therapy, and it was because the baby is 1.5. You're taking care of this kid at brunch. And I am like, well, we can't have this conversation. I don't feel like she's paying attention to me. No one's paying attention to me. Why am I here? That is, again, this experience of, well, I don't matter as much. Of course I don't. I'm not the kid. Of course I don't matter as much. But I am not being chosen. This child is taking up all this attention, all this space, and I'm here, and I don't matter. And I've learned that the things that hit you, and you're like, what the fuck? And so I called 3 of my mom friends to be like, am I being an asshole? I'm feeling this way. Am I being a dick? Like, I need to understand. And then I had different, variations on that of like, it sucks. The parents even think it sucks. No one wants their kid there. It's hard. You can't have conversations when your kid is that little. But I was like, I'm going to bring that to therapy. And then it was like, oh, there she is again. There's that little part of me. Oh, okay. Just having compassion.
Having compassion.
Yeah.
And were you able to do a little bit of an analysis of where that all started?
Oh, I think it started, I believe is my brother being born a year and a half after me. And my mom would tell me, you ignored him for the first year of his life. I think that was the moment. It's like, wait, where'd it's about me. Now it's not about me.
My brother tipped over my what's it called? No, my
bassinet.
My bassinet. It was on the kitchen counter, and my brother tried to kill me. I fell.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, on the kitchen floor.
Oh my goodness.
I love my brother, but he kind of wanted me dead for a long time.
Wow.
Hi, Paul. I'm public. I had to apologize, but I think I was cute, and I got a lot of attention.
Oh yeah.
And I took it all away from him.
Yeah.
And it literally took until we were in college.
Wow.
So you're the older.
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 3.
So you and my brother could start if you were not striving to be a better person, you could start kill your younger sibling support group.
Sibling order is fascinating.
Yeah.
It really is.
It just says a lot.
Oh, it does.
And I really all I wanted my brother was to be like cool. I was like,
of course you did.
I was a golden retriever.
Yeah.
And he would be so abusive.
Yeah.
I had a weight problem, and he goes, John, you're obese. And then all his friends would hide, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. And he's like, go look it up. And then I literally, as I'm going to the dictionary, I was like, how do you spell obese? Oh, hold on. I'm still finding it. B.
I told my brother he had a unibrow, and it gave him such a complex that it messed him up for many, many years. I was that. And he told me I think when I was 30 or like late 20s or something, he told me that really affected him. And he's like, it was bullying, and it really, like, more than you think. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. I get it. I had that. I had this like sense of, I'm gonna put you down. When I was in nursery school, I had two best friends, and I told each one of the best friends that the other one hated the other one.
Hated the other one.
And I was never allowed to have play dates with those two best friends ever again. That's nursery school. You're so young, and you go, what is this thing that this kid, what is it? Insecurity? What is it they need? And I'm like, of course, it's so strategic. My tools were I'm losing by them having friends. I'm losing out. I'm getting less. If I'm getting less, I'm not special. So how do I get it back? How do I get the specialness? How do I get it being about me? Tell them I hate each other so that they don't have play dates anymore. And that's young, That's young to have those strategies.
I mean, it's also kind of a primitive feeling that we have. It's animal based. Yeah. It's jungle.
Yeah.
It's why am I being left outside?
Right. Right.
And that's core wounds. Those are core wounds that we get happen so early. I mean, I always say acting process is just undoing all the damage.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting at, I mean, it really is. But you have to undo the damage, you have to know where the damage lies, and we have to know how it affected us.
You have to look at it. You have to be uncomfortable with your own, like that stuff, to look at yourself and go, oh, I am this person.
You have to be uncomfortable to get better as an actor. I try to make it just a fun walk. No, it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
It's fucking uncomfortable. It's really fucking uncomfortable.
That's why people won't come back sometimes to therapy. If there's a hard session, this is what I had to learn. I made it about me. They'll have a hard one, and maybe they'll ghost you, or you'll hear back in a month, or whatever it is. And it's because that was so uncomfortable, sitting in the pain or looking at yourself in this way, that it's almost too close, and it's ugly, and it doesn't feel good to look at yourself in that way.
Yeah. It's hard because listen, you have a lot of friends who are actors.
Yeah.
How has it changed you? Because now, I'm sure, having gone to school, you practicing what you do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you witness people differently. I'm sure you're able to see things, perhaps, that maybe you were not seeing before.
I am seeing
I'm sure you give
things.
people lots of grace.
Yeah.
And all of that.
Yeah. And I'm not out here, analyzing people. And funny enough, my actor friends have been in therapy. Most of them are actually, or have been in therapy. But the things I notice, it's more of a curiosity, and there's this thing that keeps happening for you. Like, what is that? Not in a
give me an example.
Having constant relationships, not feeling like have a breakup and then go right into another one, and the feeling of like not wanting to be single for a little while, and you go, what is
when
that?
they're single, they're not chosen.
Well, but that's the thing, is like everyone's stuff is different. So what is it about? And then sometimes the response is, but I'm better in a relationship. And that's not, I know I used to be grossed out by that, but I'm also like, okay, what is it? That's the question. What does a relationship bring out that you are uncomfortable with being with by yourself? What is that? I don't have, I'm not liked, or I have no one that thinks I'm, the priority. I'm lonely. What is it like to be? And so more than anything of like pointing things out with people, I'm curious about why, when I see the pattern or they acknowledge this thing, I'm like, what is that? What do you think that's about?
I had a therapist say to me when I was dating this woman, she was not great to me.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I would go to the therapist. I mean, there was a couple of things that were pretty egregious. And I would say, I should break up with her, right? I mean, I should break up with her. And the therapist would say, I always would say this, talk about this. But the therapist said, that's not for me to decide.
Yeah.
The point is that you're not breaking up with her.
Yeah.
So let's figure out how that serves you.
Yeah.
So I really had to figure out, how does that serve me?
Yeah.
Everything you do, how does it serve you? I think about that a lot. Like, sometimes when I do something where I'm like, why did I do that? I just try to go, how did that serve me? And I just always go back to that.
I like that phrase so much. And then a lot of the times, and I'll use that, and the response sometimes is, well, it doesn't. And I'm like, but it does.
No, it does. It does serve me.
There's a part of you.
So I had to come up with an answer.
Yeah.
That wonderful therapist.
Yeah.
So I was like, why? In North Carolina, like, why? Because, and it became, but when she made me come up, I mean, she didn't make me,
Yeah.
but luckily, I was like, I have to give her an answer.
Yeah, right.
And it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, what if I can't get another one like her? She's so pretty.
Yeah.
It was really juvenile.
Yeah.
And like, what if I put so much time into her.
Yeah.
She was very smart. She was beautiful. She just happened to have a lot of stuff that she needed to work on, which was not going to happen with me.
Yeah.
And I remember when I finally got to the point of ready to break up with her, we had a real talk. And I said, I have to stop seeing you. And I had to beg her to not to try to get me back.
Wow.
I said, you're not good for me. And the problem is I will say yes. I'm not, I'll probably get back together with you ask. But today I have the strength to say no. So please honor my boundaries. And I cried a lot. She shed not one tear.
Wow.
That's fascinating. So it's something I knew to be true, but it was very hard to follow through with it.
And also, it's almost like you needed her help, though, right?
I did. I needed her help.
It's like, I can't do this on my own.
I can't. I couldn't. I'm like, I'm so weak. I mean, I truly would have had sex right there.
Wow.
I would have. I mean, just like, it was very scary. It was very scary for me to be out there alone. But I had done enough of that work of liking myself and knowing this is what I needed and what would be good for me.
But how scary is it for
terrifying?
It's also what if I never get that again? Or what if I never find someone that good again? I mean, that I think is such a universal experience of like.
Well, isn't that sometimes, I'm sure you have this where a person truly is pouring kerosene on a relationship.
Yeah.
Just to make the breakup feasible rather than dealing with it in a verbal way and talking about it. It's just, I'm going to be an asshole. Yeah. I'm going to start doing shit that's going to just make you have to leave me.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a very childish, impulse-based thing. No one's doing it consciously.
And that's I can't do this, so I need you to do it.
Yes.
Because if I do it,
I've done that a lot.
Then I don't have to take accountability or responsibility, because if I do it, I end it, then I'm choosing that this is not right. But if you end it, then I don't have to choose. You did it.
So your job, and partially my job, but you on a daily basis, I mean, for the actors, but you're doing it with everybody, actors, just normal human beings, is to help them bring what is unconscious to conscious.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out how what they do serves them.
And to understand the parts of themselves that repeat patterns and how those parts were so necessary as a kid. There's a thing with alcoholism. I loved it. I read this thing about alcoholism that sometimes people needed that to survive. They needed to be an alcoholic. That was that, and thank God, because that helped them survive. And now that is no longer serving them. That isn't helping them survive any longer. So this understanding of how we're made up of all these parts, and this child who needed that in order to feel good about themselves, or to that's survival, essentially, right? The brain is going, well, this feels good. This is how I get the thing that I need. And how at a certain point we look at ourselves and discover that, this isn't a bad part. This is just what I needed then.
Yeah.
Now, what can be uncovered? How can that shift, or how can that take a back seat? Because our relationships, you might see the relationship be an issue or whatever the result, the impact is.
Everything. I mean, it's like even our bad acting habits at one point served us.
Yes, well, that's right.
I mean, that's
Mine.
it. That me trying to woo.
Yeah.
It served me.
Yeah.
And then eventually, a lot of things that serve us at one point eventually lose their power or they lose their value.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to deal with. You're like, okay, wow, my superpower is actually my weakness.
And you think that's your identity.
Oh, yeah.
And when you wrap stuff up with your identity, then it's so hard to let it go because you're like, that's me. I mean, even I'm a fast person. I just quick. And that was part of my identity. Like, I'm fast. I'm this. And to slow down is like, oh, what is that like? What comes up in the slowing down?
One of the fortunate things about being surrounded by, we both know from the studio everywhere, a lot of people at the highest parts of the career and people who are just trying to find their way. And the one thing that did help me is like anytime I've had like a coached, even in someone, who everyone knows, it certainly doesn't mean they're happy. And it was a good thing. And now that, when you're coming to me, it's like the people I'm looking at is like, who likes their life?
Yeah.
And that, it's kind of like that battle about stepping into the discomfort. It's, we get one fucking shot at this thing, like, is it going to serve you to live in this discomfort? Do you ever put it in those terms?
Yes. But if it's so scary to not live there. Like what, and that's my job, is to open up what else can happen in there.
Yeah.
What
can happen in the discomfort?
What can happen in the discomfort? What do you notice? Yeah. I notice that my body's like, my stomach is tightening up and I want to cry. And what would happen if you're, and what is protecting you right now? It's just, my job is to just be curious. It's like, just be curious with the person. What else? What else is there? What happens if? And if that wasn't there? And I'm sitting with you and I hopefully have created a safe enough container in which you can explore and you can play and you can be messy. And it's safe that you can do that. Because if you're just doing your thing and you're here, the client is here because the thing is no longer working in whatever capacity that means.
Do you see a lot of actors?
I do, actually.
You do see a lot?
And I've a handful of actors, entertainment folk. Yeah.
How do you? I'm curious. In today's, I'm sure you hear so much about the industry when you come to the room.
Yeah.
People where either it's like financial.
Yeah.
My mom being a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
God, even when I go to any doctor, they have a lot of people. When we live in LA, they have a lot of people in the industry,
mm-hmm.
and some people who've been out of work.
Yeah.
Worried about the financials.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of? Would you say, as far as your clientele, people who like what place in their career, actor wise?
So I have the top.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah.
And then I haven't booked a show
babies.
Babies. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
How do you? Is you have a wealth of experience just being in their shoes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's hard.
That's hard.
That's
I wonder
hard.
what that brings out.
Oh yeah.
What does it bring out?
Oh yeah. There is cynicism. There is, for the babies. For the babies,
your own cynicism.
My own cynicism.
That you have to encounter.
And I really have to keep this in check. But when I hear the same stuff that I was going through of like, I just need to book this one, that also, I just need to do this and then I'll be good. I just need to get in, I just need to get into SAG. I just need to get a co-star.
The moving target.
Yeah. And that brings me into a bigger question of like, okay, then what? Sure, then what? And you're complaining about, how much money you have. And what if you got a job? What if you went into sales? My dad told me before I went to college, my parents were good about this, but my dad was like, well, he's British. Why? You should go into sales. You're good, go into sales. And I was like, Dad, shut up. I don't want to do that. Like, I get it. I get that. When you've struggled for a long time and then you look back and you go, okay, well, this wasn't.
I think when you are angst people like us,
Yeah.
when you're a neurotic human being like I know I am,
Yeah.
You're working on the left and the right brain, but sometimes the left brain just goes on fucking overdrive.
Yeah.
Thinking. And, I think about like an old friend like Ken Marino, and like he's just like a creative.
Yeah.
If nothing doesn't happen, and he would just go, right, I'm going to write, I'm going to
Wow.
do music, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. He won't remember a single casting director's name. Now you could say, who did you read for? He's like, I don't know. They're really nice though. Who did you read for? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just thinking about the part.
Yeah.
I remember one point, like he had 5 auditions the next day, and he's like, not going on this one, not going on this one, not going
Love
on this
that.
one. I'll go on these 2.
Love
I'm like, wait, and I'm like going, how are you turning down 3 auditions? He's like, well, these ones are good for me, and he's like, I'm not going to kill myself to learn. I can't learn that much, and he's like,
Yeah.
and if they cast anyone in this week, I'm not going to get it. I wasn't supposed to get it anyway. So these things, I'll just wait to see if they find anybody, and then I'll go in for that. And I'm like, that is so healthy.
There's no scarcity. It's going.
There's no scarcity.
It's going. Oh, I have so much to choose from, and I'll do what serves me. I'll do this. This feels
But
right.
I wasn't born genetically with that coding.
No.
But I also didn't. That's also what I learned from watching Mom and Dad and Worry. Like it's
yeah.
a lot of it's absorbed behavior.
Here, generational. There's some. Yeah.
No, but also here's the thing. Ken's dad was like, I think, if I believe, like Long Island. At one point, Ken, he had done something to his house. I'll never forget. He had put a bidet in his house. And he's like, you got to try this bidet. Me and my dad, he and his dad worked on it. They were creative with their hands.
Oh, wow.
He lived in a straight, in a place of creativity.
Wow.
So I wonder for those people, like, I think.
That's beautiful. I mean, that's
but
lovely.
That was not me.
No, wasn't me either.
I did love to create.
Yeah.
But there was a freedom. And I've noticed that for a lot of people. There's like, it's, but to me, where my creating was in teaching.
Yeah.
I'm creating here. I'm in the now. I'm in the here. I'm in the connection. I'm in that. But that's where I felt at home.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and especially when you're working with people who are receptive and like open, and like it is a creative thing. We're creating
energy.
It's energy that
right?
we're creating.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so hard when you deal with someone who's block resistant, that like the entire work is to get them to be at a place where they can be at that frequency and energetic.
And I wonder, as a teacher for you, when you are with someone who's not like that, I look at that and go, oh, I would just shut down. Or not. As the teacher, I think I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, because if I feel that I can't, this person is not even in the moment or here with me, it's like, what is the point of this?
Yeah.
And that's difficult.
That's difficult. And that is where you have to just ascertain quickly, like, you can say, this is what I think you need. This is what I think you need. It's probably something I cannot provide you.
Yeah.
It might be like, you got to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Or you need to go to this voice teacher or this breathing, this movement. Like, this is where you need to do this, because right now your instrument is not even allowing for anything right now.
Yeah.
And it's also, so much of acting and what brings out, what makes someone crazy to me is just having irrational expectations for where you're at. Like, don't say I should be getting on a show or I should be getting more auditions if clearly you can't even come into my room and do the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like considering where they are with their entire being. I find it's easier to not be crazy when your expectations are rational.
No, sure.
Sure,
but you're also comparing to the people around you. So your
hard.
expectations.
Well, that's always going to that your calculation is going to be screwed up.
Oh, yeah.
If you're comparing yourself to that person.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. People in this industry is going, well, they got Why are they auditioning so much? And I'm not auditioning. I mean, even that I think is different than other industries.
Like, why does that person get an opportunity and I don't?
Yeah.
And it's like, really? You can't see the why of that?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So but I am so curious because I will say it is different. You being a therapist,
Yeah.
and me being in an acting class. Because one thing I realize all I'm doing is in some ways really lovingly trying to get them not be like me.
Sure.
Trying to get them to benefit from all the stuff that I had to learn and all the shit, all the thinking that I fell into. And I can see it. You know what I mean?
You're an expert in yourself.
Yeah. But I'm also in it, but I can see you're watching it. Oh no.
Of course.
You know, and when you watch actors and I'd love you to speak on this, when you watch they don't always identify it as depression, but it is a depression where it's an internalized melancholy, which is you're not allowing yourself to feel like potential abundance or success. So it keeps you from actually really putting in 100%.
How does that show up when you see the melancholy? Like, what does it look like? Looks like not motivated?
The frequency is just a little deadened.
Oh.
The amount of investment in a scene is never 100%. The amount of work that one puts in is just kind of. I had this lovely actress take Tool Shop, and I adored her. I really adore her, and I think she could be really great. And she's 40, and she's worked some, but I think I could see her on something. But she wrote in a really open, lovely response to videos. She said, I should give watch some Brene Brown.
Yeah, great.
I don't think I've ever given 100%.
Oh.
She's like, I'm curious what that would look like. And she did it without shame. And she did it without beating herself up.
Because if you give 100% and you fail,
and
then
you can even see the way she walks in the room. Like, she's so talented, but it's like, it is, what would it be to fully give? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you encounter that?
Do
you think you fully gave?
So
interesting question.
I think at parts of my career, in my life, I fully gave so much. I felt like I could skirt around or take the easy way out or not do as much and it still be good enough that it was like, I'm good. I don't need to. Yeah. And what 100% really looks like. Yeah, definitely that I did not give fully 100%. That shows up in my life now sometimes.
Yeah. Those things, how does it show up in your life?
So this is such a silly thing.
No.
Cleaning the dishes. Now, if stuff's in the dishwasher and then stuff that is not cleaned, now I could. What I do is this. Clean. Now there's still garbage on the pan. I'm more interested in being efficient and getting it done than I am actually doing it properly.
Sure. Aren't you putting it in the dishwasher?
Well, the stuff that's not in the dishwasher, the stuff that I have to hand wash, like pots, pans, nice pans that are like really good pans.
If you do it right, you really have to be ready to spend some time.
And that's the thing. I know.
That's great.
Yeah.
My wife hates that because when I do it 100%. But I will let them collect for a little bit. And then I'm like, now let's do it. And so it's like, it will happen in that day.
Sure. It's
just not always on the time frame she wants it done.
And that's fair.
But I'm like, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We got to do it right.
And that's, yeah.
That's it.
That's something I struggle with because it's like, well, even I told you before, I got this commercial audition in so quickly. I was so proud of myself because I was able to schedule it and get it in 10 minutes. Now, was it as good? Did I give 100% or could I have spent more time?
Right. What do you think? I'm a recovered lazy person, meaning when I was young, look, let's be clear. I was never lazy. I always cared enormously.
Yeah.
But the problem is like when I was a kid, like I didn't do very well at school until I got until I was about to pay the price. Then I did well in school.
Oh, okay.
I had to feel the consequence.
Oh, sure.
Like I cared a lot when my parents were going through a divorce about like girls.
Mm-hmm.
Something about I needed some reward.
Yeah.
And I wasn't finding it in schoolwork.
Yeah.
And doing well. You know, like
It
sometimes
wasn't enough. Yeah, sure.
So it's like I wasn't consumed with getting an A. I wanted to go on a date.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sex was a better reward than an A.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Yeah.
Baseball. I did not. My baseball coach told me I was the biggest disappointment he had ever had in the history of his program. And that knocked me into consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said to my mom, I should quit baseball. And she said, no, you just don't like yourself very much right now.
Oh.
What if you actually tried hard?
Oh.
And then I totally invested 100% and made it to the LA City All-Star team in that year. But it was, I need to be fair to myself. I maybe was being lazy in those areas, but I certainly wasn't being lazy in the areas that I thought was serving me.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
So it's really, I think I'm just so fascinated for you. You must witness this. Like, what if you actually put your attention on the right things that actually would serve you?
Sure.
Versus all the time you're spending on the things that used to.
I mean, it's noticing what exactly that is.
How hard is it to turn on the light?
I think it's hard. It's easier to do it in the dark. I don't have to go over and do it.
We can cut this out if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
Let's have a little honest sex.
Yeah.
You were talking about getting triggered.
When?
No, sometimes you get triggered when you hear that client going through what you went through.
Oh, yes.
There I have to be very careful, like who are the people that really trigger me?
Mm.
And I definitely have some people.
Sure.
It's also what state am I in often? Like what,
sure.
What's my equilibrium?
Yeah.
What are you give me one and then I'll give you one. What's a trigger if you have a client?
Not even looking for a way out.
Just describing.
Just talking like, oh, yeah, he did this today. So it's not, that's the issue, is not looking for me to help them.
Oh, Lord, that would.
And you're just like, but also what I've learned, and I think what my therapist told me is even in my time, in my 20s, when I wasn't making any money or anything, and I would complain and and my therapist has to sit in that. It's not, let me get you out. Let's give you things. You should get this job.
Your own powerlessness in that to listen to this is
my own discomfort.
Is your own discomfort.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
This is actually, there's a woman at our, I love, and she is smart, but she's like talking every week. I did the wrong thing. I shouldn't have said it, but I did say what everyone was thinking. She was just talking. I worry about anyone who says I'm in love after knowing someone for a month.
And,
sure. They go, I'm in love. And I said, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, I am. You're not.
Sure.
You're like, well, and then the next, you just notice how suddenly the narrative changed week after week. And then like we're working on it. It's like, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. And then within a month, it was done. It died. But it was I have data in my head.
Yeah.
And like, you've seen this story before. We've all seen this story before.
We've seen that story.
So when you see the story, I go, you guys are sexually compatible.
Yeah.
He disguised his...
And it feels really good.
Self. And oh my God.
Feels great.
We can confuse sexual compatibility and chemical compatibility with love very quickly.
Yeah.
But then with a little bit of time, you're like, they're not the same thing.
Because also you don't know someone yet.
You don't know someone.
Yeah.
I always used to say, because I remember when I met the woman who did not serve me.
Yeah.
Lovely person. I mean, this is true with a lot of relationships when you're young. You layer in the truth.
Yeah.
You don't start with.
No.
You don't start with. So I'm on
Here's all.
Zoloft. I'm on Zoloft.
Yeah, right.
I come from my grandmother was an alcoholic. My father uses a lot of cocaine.
And sometimes I think I am, but
sometimes I think I may be. And these are my actual worries about myself.
Yeah.
I have maybe perhaps a little bit of body issues and
Sure.
but you layer it initially.
Right.
I'm great. These things are great. And then later comes in the medicine that you're on.
Also, you're performing a little bit in the beginning too.
A little performative.
Yeah.
And then by the third day, you depending on the safety, you layer in a truth. You test it out.
Yeah. Tip your toes in the water.
Yeah, dip the toe. So what do you think? Yeah. What are your thoughts about mental instability, just in general?
Do you have an experience?
Do you have any experience? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Versus boom.
Yeah.
Where were we? Cut that out. No, triggers.
Yeah.
I think it's the same part of the same thing. I am triggered by when I'm not right, by my own powerlessness to help some. There was an actor who came in, and doesn't matter. I mean, God, we get people from everywhere.
Yeah, right.
They could be on a show for 20 years and they come to class.
Sure.
But this actor, sure, has his masters. But always puts on a voice in the acting, a little bit from that old school.
Yeah.
Arguing why, but why, but why, but why?
Yeah.
That is the powerlessness of going, oh God, the ego.
Yeah.
And when I'm healthy, I'm just I'm sorry. Sorry, this is so challenging. I'm sorry that this is bringing out this for you.
Yeah.
But when I'm not, I want to change it.
Yeah.
I want to shift it. I want to shift it now.
Or put it down.
Well, I just want to get him to see it.
Of course.
I want him again to see the light.
Oh. So convince. I need it.
I need to convince you that you like what the scene is.
So that you trust me, so that I am, again, the teacher.
Yes.
Who is all-knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or as you're in front of these people, don't you see it? And then, eventually, I'm aware of when I get really started.
Yeah.
I want to flex. And eventually, you try all these different things. And you just go, listen, I say this not very negatively, but honestly, how many, let's look, how many opportunities have you had on a show like this? 1, 2. Right. So how much data do you have in your brain? How many scripts have we actually read? Larry Moss would say, read the script every day, read data. I haven't. I was like, so why do you feel so necessary to know the answer? Why is it so important for you to know? If you can help them just try to give some insight versus going, it's this. And it's it doesn't have to be this. But then also, why is it such a big problem just to take the adjustment?
Yeah.
Let's neither of us be right.
Yeah. That's a nice way of saying
You're not right. I'm not right.
Yeah.
But can you take this now? The director wants to see it.
Let's just try.
Yeah. Let's get out of binary right and wrong.
Yeah, right.
Let's go say interesting and not interesting.
Yeah.
And later we can explain why, the dramaturgy of it all.
Yeah.
What page are we on? What's the arc of the character? Where does it go? But the right and the wrong, it is really interesting. I always find that it feels like the actor, I had this actor come in the other day. I love you. When you meet someone, you're like, you're just a special soul. She had been a lead of movies starring Brad Pitt and all this stuff when she was a kid. She took a break for herself to be a kid. She went to college and she came to coach with me the other day and she's like, I don't think I know how to act anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, and of course she's not right. Of course she knows how to act, but she's just I was like, why? She's like, because when I was filming a number of years ago, and we're talking 5 years, everything was real to me. You tell me someone's my father, he's my father. You tell me there's a monster outside, that's a monster. You say all of it was real. It's not real anymore. And I said, that's all acting process is.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I was like, what's great self-awareness?
Yeah.
And I just needed to give her one trick, one concentration to get her back to being real. She's like, it felt real again. So
but that's what's great about actors. It's the self-awareness. I think.
If.
Oh, yes, that's true. Hopefully there is. But it seems like more than any other type of job.
What do you think, in your experience? I never made it to a place in my acting where it was like people know me from my, like in some any substantial way.
Yeah.
I got, there were so many of those close calls, but I can't speak to, where my clients have arrived.
Yeah, sure.
But even in my success, where I did have enough getting there, I was always afraid of losing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once you get there, you don't want to go away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Well, I think the first thought is we're all going to lose everything.
That's good. Yeah.
And if we are all going to lose everything at the end of the day, it's like, oh, how wonderful is it to have this thing while I have it? I mean, I think about that a lot in terms of like death.
Life. Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't lost that many people in my life.
Yeah.
And so the reason that feeling of like, they could leave, they could die, and all of that is really sits deeply with me. And so that kind of, my way of kind of talking through that is like, if it's all going to go away and we don't know what's going to happen, we are not in control, then what is it like to have it right now?
Yeah. I love that. I mean, I still deal with those thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still do. I'm very lucky to be married to a woman who lives in abundance always.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Me too.
I think
it's
she'd
so
really,
great.
I mean, she may complain, but I think she'd really be okay if we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with our son.
Wow. Yeah, I said that in my vows to my husband. I said, you always have enough. There's always enough for you.
There's always enough.
There's always enough for you. Yeah.
It goes away when we're on vacation, but when we're at home, then she's like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But no, 100%. That's what if that's enough? It's such a, and I think the hardest thing about acting, you can speak to this, is the one thing about this career is all the effort you're putting in often is unseen by anybody.
Oh, yeah. And money.
No, it's unseen by anybody. Yeah. You're not being rewarded financially.
No.
You're not being rewarded. You're certainly not getting the crack.
No, you're not.
As you're just working by yourself in that room.
Sure.
You don't get that hit.
Sure.
And you just keep on putting money in the piggy bank. Mm-hmm.
So hard.
And you don't know when the piggy bank will ever crack open or anything, if it will. And the people that have an easier time with it, are the ones who just enjoy, doing it.
Yes,
which
they
is
do.
what I always did.
Yeah.
I always did enjoy opening the script.
Yeah.
I did always love getting in my laboratory.
Yeah.
But especially in today's world, where, and maybe you can tell me whether you think, does this make this harder? That even, let's say Hilary does book that job. Mm-hmm. Right, that recurring that she really wanted, or even that one reg doesn't pay what it used to.
Sure. Oh yeah.
You may only shoot for 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Or even like a fractional. You may only get 7 of 12.
Yeah.
By the way, they lowballed you. I'm going to do a little math here. They lowballed you. You're only doing 7 of 12. They're only giving you 20 for this.
Uh-huh.
By the way, no one's sneezing at 20.
Yeah,
no one's
sure.
saying growth, but still, then. So that's 140,000.
Yeah.
You're a manager and agent, get 20% of that. Then you got taxes. And you're like, wait, the thing I've always wanted, this series reg.
Oh, yeah. And
I
this
still
is
gotta,
it?
what?
And then this is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means you got to just build a creative life, whether you're going to do see your clients for therapy, go book that commercial.
It has to be less about that. It has to be less about getting to the thing.
What do you say? Tell them.
I can't tell people to do anything.
I know. How can you get them to see it?
It's going, if you never get it, are you okay continuing? If you don't know if it'll ever happen, does this bring you joy? Does this bring you joy to open the script, to run it, to be in class, to audition? Like,
no one's making you.
There's no one's making you. And you know what? Who When were you ever guaranteed that you were going to make millions of dollars as an actor? Who told you that was by being an actor? That's what but you make $100,000. What, in 10 years? Why is that not? What's the fantasy? And let's look at the fantasy and let's unpack the fantasy. And that's also the conversation is like, okay, if money is the thing that drives me, girl, you're in the wrong job.
Wrong job. Don't you feel, though, even like today, I had no idea what the fuck today was going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, sure.
But as long as you show up, something will happen.
Yeah, sure.
A moment.
Sure.
An event, an exchange.
Yeah, sure.
That made the day where this was a day. Something happened that was unique and now and today. And I find that that's what just all of it is.
Showing up.
Just showing up.
Yeah.
Just showing up.
Showing
up to class. It's like you go to a therapy session, you're like, I have nothing to talk about
and then it's the best one ever.
It's about so many things. I have nothing to talk about. I mean, I think maybe in my life of going to therapy, there have been like maybe 1 or 2 days where we really didn't get to anything.
Sure.
Like that was a lot of money.
I know.
For enough. Like, I remember Janice, I don't have much. I was like, things are good. This is happening.
I get that a lot, actually, clients-wise. Things are good. And that is it's so funny because that response is like, you're looking sometimes at this week. Well, nothing happened in the week, so it's good. What's good? Okay, so let's talk about what went well.
Yeah, what's good?
Okay, and then that takes us to how you're, it doesn't have to be this every session, this breakthrough of it's going, let's look at you as a person. Let's look at your parts.
You know what it partially is, I think?
What?
Is that the reason that week would have been good, because a lot of stuff we've been working on played out. Like, I had that conversation with that person.
Right.
And that went good.
Yeah.
I did do the thing. And I did follow through on this.
Yeah.
And that's kept everything kind of in a nice, there's no chaos happening right now.
Yeah, that's always, no big thing happened. I'm like, yeah. Do big things happen on a regular?
Yes, it feels like constant chaos. So you start to feel that reward, but it is just it's like the boat that needs. Life is like a boat that needs so much maintenance.
Yeah,
it's just constant maintenance.
Yeah, but it's like working out, and that's like my Pilates part, right? It's like the working out is the same as working out your mind.
Okay, how can people reach Hilary Curwen? Because I think right now you're going to have a lot of people reaching out for therapy.
Oh. That's great. My email address is, I'm not going to give out my email. Should I give out my email?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
We can cut it out if we don't want to.
Okay. Curwen. Yeah, or email's always good. CurwenHilary1 at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And my website, curwentherapy.com.
That's great.